You feel me? I don't know. You feel me? Cause I'm clapping shit. I ain't even gonna play with them little niggas. I'm gonna smoke one of their ass. So shit, I really ain't got no input up on this situation particularly. YouTube, today back with a new video. And today we got this evil TikToker ended veteran's life and then made a dance video. So we're gonna hop right into it. Before we get into it, we don't condone none of this behavior is for entertainment purposes only. So we're gonna hop right into it.
This evil TikToker allegedly took the life of a United States veteran and then posted a dancing TikTok video mocking the situation. This is just an unbelievably sad story. This is Justin Guzman. Recently, he just turned himself into authority.
Little Victor. He used to be doing I know dude off of Despicable Me, the little villain. He used to be on doing parodies of him.
One of the worst things I've covered here on this channel, or at least it definitely goes neck and neck with one of the ones I covered just a few videos ago. And obviously we've covered a lot of outright disgusting topics this year, so that's definitely saying something. But Guzman here allegedly took the life of a Marine veteran in front of his fiance and infant son, and then went home, opened his TikTok app, and then posted a video of himself Fortnite dancing while a news report about the crime he just allegedly committed plays behind him. And I mean, this just really sets the bar for how low and
yeah, it's like nowadays everybody do shit for clout, you know. Like if the internet don't know you did it, it's like you ain't do it, and how they see it, you know. It's crazy how people think. You feel me? It's crazy people be throwing their life away for dumb shit, you know?
Some people are in our new generation. So here's what happened. On June 3rd, Guzman and his friend Marco were at a Galleria mall in Houston, where they allegedly insulted a woman in an elevator. And you can probably see where this is going. She happened to be the fiance of a 30-year-old Marine veteran named Anthony Sanders, and a mother of their 10-month-old baby. So obviously, he didn't like that. So later on, in the parking lot after the incident, Sanders confronted Justin and Marco for insulting his fiance. An argument then broke out, but the Marine veteran humbly walked away and went back to his car to leave with his family. At this point, according to reports, Guzman and Marco, in their own car, brake checked him and positioned their car in front of Sanders to block him from leaving. When Sanders got out to confront them, he was shot 10 times right there in front of his child and partner. So just in case you didn't hear me right, Sanders left the altercation with two scumbags, got in his car with his wife and kid, got blocked from being able to leave the car park, and then had his life taken away in front of...
I had actually never built a website before, but Fiverr had exactly what I needed for us to go from
his wife and his 10-month-old child. It's honestly astonishing how much of a lowlife you have to be to escalate this situation into that. These dudes could not handle a verbal confrontation with a 30-year-old veteran trying to defend his wife, so they waited until he was with the family and trying to exit the scene to then take his life. There is no words for these guys. And even worse, the victim's mother, Ronielle Sanders, was on the phone with him while the incident took place.
Because we just want justice for our son.
Right, that shit bogus as hell. I ain't gonna lie, these little niggas out here reckless though. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gotta keep something for their ass, bro. He was a vet. No, they say he was a vet. But you gotta keep something for their ass. Cause these little niggas out here kill you for nothing. They can't even think straight. So how you think they gonna be thinking logically when it's time to kill something? They not, you know. So they gonna kill whatever if they feel like they had to. And it don't take a lot for them to feel like they had to. Cause they dumb as hell. They don't even know how to think properly.
And he passed away protecting his son and his fiance. That's what he does.
The family of both Anthony's parents are Army veterans. He was a Marine, and he was gunned down in a parking garage over a petty argument. This is just sickening. This guy was just trying to protect his family, and he gets his life ripped away from him over basically nothing. But this is where the story continues and becomes even more infuriating, and the main reason I decided to cover this. Because after the alleged crime, Guzman, I guess, just went back to his normal life. So I guess as soon as this crime made the headlines, he opened his TikTok app, and then he essentially Fortnite danced and overlaid the headline of his crime behind him to some, generic music. So alongside of just being absolutely vile in so many ways, this is straight up Hall of Fame stupidity. This is hands down one of the dumbest things you can possibly do. I guess that comes after the thing he actually did. That's the dumbest thing you can do. This is a strong runner-up for things that are stupid after you've done something incredibly stupid. So this guy allegedly took someone's life and then decided it was a great time to get some attention on TikTok for it. Because apparently that's where the generation is today. We're probably aware that the culture of, you know, drill rappers exposing their crimes in songs, that's sadly been happening for a while. But with the context we have now, this is a TikTok dance. And obviously we're aware of various people snitching on themselves in raps or so on and so on, but now they're doing it in TikTok dances. Oh boy. The future is getting more dystopian.
I want to see the video at this point.
As we speak. As of recording this video, that video has since been removed, but if that's not the most damning piece of evidence to introduce into a criminal case, I don't know what is. With social media being the key evidence in this case, I can guarantee that Justin's entire internet presence is going to be brought up in trial. And from doing research on this, we actually found out that he had over 100,000 followers on this now removed TikTok account. I mean, just imagine being in court and they roll out one of these bad boys, you know, the refrigerator television on the stand that with the wheels, because for some reason they still do that to this day. And then they just play this TikTok video of him doing that in front of the jury. And this happened in Texas. So, Texas is clearly a F around and find out state, because you're definitely going to find out there. According to the reports given by the police, Sanders' fiance said that he was there in the mall to pick her up from work. Then, when she got into the elevator to leave, Justin and Marco were inside it. Apparently, they asked her a question, which she then ignored. And, you know, if you're a woman alone in the elevator with two men, that's a completely rational response. And while Justin and Marco, being remarkably insecure, I guess, didn't like that one bit. And allegedly, they called her a stupid, ugly bee, which, you know, perfectly backs up my previous statement. The fiance then told Sanders what happened, and he drove around the parking lot until he found Justin and Marco. Obviously, this is where he decides to confront them, has a brief discussion, and then everyone gets back into their cars. And while Sanders wants to leave, well, we know that Justin and Marco didn't want to allow that. Initially, Guzman and Sinan were detained, but later released as the investigation progressed and warrants were issued. Both men turned themselves in, with Justin even showing up to turn himself in an Uber, which is kind of understandable, because why would everyone want to volunteer to take that dude to jail? Justin was being held on a $750,000 bond, but that's since changed. Originally, the state only requested a $150,000 bail for Justin, with Justin's attorneys wanting a $75,000 bail. Justin's lawyers then claimed the bail of $750,000 set by the judge was set too high, and that Justin couldn't possibly afford it. So according to the defense, the judge was holding Justin hostage.
The stage was set for Guzman's hearing based on the filing of the application of the writ of habeas corpus, stating that the judge had violated not only the Texas Code of Civil Procedure, the Texas Constitution, and the Constitution of the United States by what his legal team believes was a high and arbitrary bail amount. And guess what? The court actually agreed with them and lowered Guzman's bail down from $750,000 to $450,000, meaning that he would have to pay a bail bondsman $45,000 in fees opposed to $75,000 in fees. However, if Guzman is able to raise that $45,000 in fees, he would actually be subjected to a GPS monitor for the duration of the case, which potentially can be years.
So he got a lower bond, but still way higher than what he wanted. Marco, however, reportedly had a criminal history, so he's now being held at a $1 million bond. And I don't think that's going to get any lower anytime soon. With legal proceedings in mind, Justin and Marco...
I want to know who pulled the trigger, because, like, that's going to matter a lot. Probably not really, but I don't feel like he pulled the trigger. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the other dude pulled the trigger. He looked like he more like... he'll do it, you know. The other dude, he look a little, you know. I don't think he'll really do nothing like that. You feel me? How he look, but you would never know, because I don't know him. But I want to know who pulled the trigger, and it most likely was the other dude, I think.
Are claiming self-defense here, though.
New tonight, the attorney for the second suspect charged in connection with the murder of a Marine veteran at the Galleria is insisting that his client acted in self-defense. Justin Guzman's attorney telling us that his client and his friends were trying to leave.
Unlock the world's largest, most liquid financial market with...
They claim Sanders was the aggressor.
The complainant was riding their rear bumper, not driving away, continuing the situation and continuing to provoke the situation that they're dealing with. It's a clear-cut case of self-defense. What happened shouldn't have happened. There's no doubt about that. Somebody lost their life. But Justin Guzman did not provoke this encounter.
Yeah, well, their lawyer seems confident. I can't wait to hear him explain a TikTok of his client dancing in front of the headline of his crime. So the defense is saying that Sanders presented a knife, but Houston police have stated they found no evidence that Sanders was armed, which frankly makes the self-defense claim look pretty weak. Not only that, but this doesn't make a lot of sense to me because their car was in front. So
Right.
if they felt threatened by Sanders,
Just
why
pull
would
out.
they not just leave? Like, that
Right.
just doesn't make sense. And even if he stepped out of the car with a knife, they could just leave. They were ahead. Then obviously, on top of that, why did they shoot him 10 times? To me, it makes a lot more sense that Sanders was the one trapped, like his family claims. And if this is a public parking lot, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it's
there's going to be a
cameras.
whole lot of CCTV footage that paints the entire story for us. But I guess we'll just see how all that pans out. So here's the charge breakdown. Justin and Marco, they're both facing murder charges. Under Texas law, murder is classified as a first-degree felony. This means that the prosecutors believe the act was committed intentionally or knowingly, and this is with the aim of causing Sanders' death. If convicted, they'll both face a sentence of ranging from 5 years to life in prison, along with a possibility fine of up to $10,000. In Texas, a first-degree murder conviction can also result in a life sentence with the possibility of parole, but being eligible for parole doesn't start until 30 years into the sentence. The prosecutors could later choose to elevate the charge to capital murder, which is possible in cases revolving multiple suspects. Then the stakes are higher. A capital murder conviction in Texas carries only 2 possibility outcomes: life in prison without the possibility of parole, or the death penalty. As of right now, they're not facing additional charges publicly, but if the investigation uncovers other felonies, those could significantly add to their potential prison time. But as it stands right now, Guzman and Sinan are each looking at a very real possibility of spending the rest of their lives in prison. Because as of right now, this does not look like some tragic incident. This was a confrontation that escalated to a man's life being taken away in front of his family. And the alleged shooter thought it was appropriate to go home and make a TikTok video dancing and mocking it. Again, I have no words about this. This is just disgusting. But I guess the dude just completely played himself because now he'll be locked behind bars for basically the rest of his life. As this case progresses, I'll probably make some updates, but rest in peace to Anthony Sanders, and may his family get the justice they deserve. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be...
Yeah, they probably got a case. I don't know. Don't quote me, but they probably got a case because dude confronted them and stuff like that. But like, I think even like, cause Texas, they real good on gun laws and self-defense laws. Like, they real lenient on that, so you can really get off on something real easy. But at the same time, I feel like it still got to be like reasonable, you know. So I feel like if you could get away, you can get away. But I think Texas is a stand your ground law. So if he did have a knife, that could be a tricky one. You feel me? They probably got a case right there, because technically you don't got to retreat. You don't have to run away. If somebody got a knife, you can do what you got to do. But they said there was no evidence of that. So, you know. And I think it got to be like equal force. I don't know how Texas really work, because I think it's like an equal force. Like, if they come out with you with a knife, you got to come at them with a knife. Or, I don't know how it work, honestly. I ain't going to lie, but that shit crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, that is just crazy, you know. Like, a lot of shit don't even need to be happening, you know. But a lot of these little niggas is disrespectful, so you know you gotta get on their ass sometimes, you know. But you feel me? I don't know. You feel me? Cause I'm clapping shit. I ain't even gonna play with them little niggas. I'm gonna smoke one of their ass. So shit, I really ain't got no input up on this situation particularly. But I just hope shit, you know, the family get their justice if that's what they want. And shit, I hope Shorty and them come from up under that, you know. I hope they beat the case or whatever. I just hope good on both sides though, you know. But that shit crazy, man. Y'all get y'all a gun, man. And don't be over tough, you feel me? Handle your business. You a man, handle your business, but don't be over tough. Don't be trying to overly step, because that's how you get your smoked. I'm not saying that's how he got smoked, but that's how it happened most of the time, you know. So, you know, just mind your business, get you a gun, you know, and shit, you know, shit, live your life, you know. But shit, if y'all fucked with the video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Fuck with everything in the description. We gone. Gang.
Gang.